collapses, if you hope in it, it collapses down on top of you and it causes suffering. So let me say that again. The higher you hold it up, the more you hope in it, the more painful it is when it comes collapsing down. And that is painful disappointment that some people live with the rest of their lives. So a couple of questions for you. Why are so many humans still hungry? Here's the reason. They are seeing Jesus but not believing. One of the reasons why someone who's a Christian can be still unsatisfied and still have these longings on the inside is because they see Jesus, they recognize Jesus, they're around Jesus' people, but they don't necessarily believe he is their bread of life. They might believe he's someone else's bread of life, but not theirs. They might believe that Jesus is helpful to them, that Jesus is a nice accessory to enhance your life. They might believe that Jesus is worth emulating and modeling as a good example to us morally, but they don't believe in their heart, they aren't resting their confident hope in Jesus himself. So they see, but they don't believe. By the way, Jesus says in verse 29, you don't have to do miracles like I am. You don't have to feed thousands with a couple of loaves and fish like I do. The work that the Father gives you is to believe in me. It's not to perform and work and achieve and to do miracles, but instead just to believe that I am the bread of life. But some people pursue Jesus and they only see him. They don't believe in that he is not their daily bread. He's their occasional bread. He's their Sunday bread. He's their seasonal bread, right? Creaster, Christmas and Easter. Seasonal bread. They might see but not believe because they're snacking on Jesus, but they're not really feasting on Jesus. They skim over the surface, and Jesus is like a bag of potato chips. I mean kettle chips, not the lame, thin ones. I mean kettle chips. In between their meal, and Jesus is just a little skim snack food, and every now and then I have Jesus light, but he isn't nourishing, and he's not bringing me meaningful life. Or there are people who see Jesus and they don't believe because they believe in other things to bring them that Zoe life. They're wishing for more signs. Why are so many people still hungry? Because they're wishing for more signs. And here's what this means. To them, Jesus is real, but he's not enough. He's not enough. Like Jesus is good, and I've learned about him, I put my hope in him and stuff, and I can read about him, and I know he saved my soul. But in reality, that's good, but what's better is signs and wonders. What's better is miraculous intervention. And Jesus says, the only work that I give you is to believe when they say, show us a sign. And he says, I want you to just believe me, receive me as the bread of life. Yeah, so anyway, show us another sign so we can know who you are. And Jesus says, you already know who you are. I've already described myself. I am the bread of life who's come from heaven. God's provided me. And instead, they're worshiping a diluted Jesus, and that's what happens. They're worshiping a diluted Jesus. This is why so many people are still hungry, because the Jesus that they believe in is just a great teacher. He's interesting and he's helpful, but he's not really life-changing. He's not really their everyday Zoe bread.